February 16th, just before market open, watching the E-mini. Let me get stuff set up here. All right, looks like we're good. Okay, so we've got the 1 minute chart for E-mini here and the 15-minute chart on this side. Green line, dotted green line is the overnight high. Dotted red line is the overnight low. I'll be putting in solid orange lines, which will denote the first minute of trade activity, the opening range, we refer to that as. The daily chart as well. Well, let me move over that real quick. Here's the daily. So we're just in here hanging out. We've got FOMC minutes later today and a little bit of economic news today. So we're going to let things develop and see what we get. Here's the open. Zoom back over that. Yesterday was a slow, just kind of grinding day on the 5 minute. Well, we can even zoom out here and look at the day. Let's see. Here's yesterday, all the yesterday, just kind of hanging out, not doing a whole bunch. Let me go back to the 1 minute. Here we go. So some areas of importance I have are this 62 level. That's pretty important. Decent amount of range this morning. We'll go ahead and annotate that. There we go. All right, so there's our range. Monday, we just pushed down and had a bit of a bounce, gapped up. This is Tuesday, hung out in this area, and now we're still here. Haven't been able to push below the overnight lows. And with the trading that I do, so if yesterday, for example, I didn't take a single trade. I only watch the market for 2 hours. The time frame that I watch it is usually about 8:30 until 10:30, sometimes 11, and then I'm done for the day. It doesn't mean that I don't miss opportunities later in the day. Now today with FOMC announcing at 1, I will come back in front of the screens and see what's going on during that time frame. Yeah, my trades might last anywhere from several minutes to half hour, even an hour or longer for runners that I have. I'm not a scalper, so I'm fine with just sitting on my hands and waiting for ideal setups. I recognize that can be quite a bit boring, but I'm really not here to entertain. I'm here for myself to watch playback video and to learn, to watch, tape rewound and watch what the market's doing as I'm placing trades in order to glean insight from that and to improve and always get better as a trader. I'm going to flip over to the NASDAQ here. NASDAQ's below its overnight lows. I usually like to toggle back and forth just to see if I can glean any insight from what it's doing. see. Okay, yeah. Here's yesterday's low. Pushed down, failed attempt to drive it lower, then came right back into here and then above there. I usually don't try to guess too much what the market might do. There's times and areas of importance where, like an inflection point in the market, where I have a much better feel for what is likely to happen, looking at a probabilistic outcome. But when we're just kind of hanging out as we are now, it's tempting to want to try to guess what's going on, but here's the 5 minute here. So to me, again, it feels kind of heavy, like we're going to try to go lower, but just really don't have any clarity on that just yet. And the market, it'll make it clear sooner or later what we're going to do. I mentioned the other day about the importance of tempo. So you get a day like Monday, where we've got just a pretty big push down, or I'm sorry, this is Monday here, this candle. Fast tempo, a lot of movement, and then you totally have to shift gears and adjust for a day like yesterday. And today, so far it's slow, but we're only 8 minutes into the open. So tempo can speed up and slow down too within the day. So some days just from the get-go, tempo's fast and it's just crazy all day, and then it might slow down. And there's other days, kind of like on Friday, this candle here, tempo was real slow, just kind of meandering around, then broke below some support here, and then just kind of went down pretty hard. And then got some buyers here, and then just kind of hung out here. There wasn't any big new buyers coming in to push price higher. So we've always got to be mindful of tempo. Sorry for all the clicking. My mic's a bit touchy. I've got to figure out how to get it to drown out some of the background noise. All right, we are just here hanging out. Hanging out. Not getting any real tells from the market just yet. 10 minutes in. The area to watch, I think, is going to be this 36 level here. Market feels heavy to me, but it doesn't mean that it is going to be heavy. We're still inside of this range. We could, even though it feels heavy to me, we could just as easily come back and get back up in here. So I like to remind myself that there are 3 different positions. There is long, being a buyer. There's short, when you're a seller. And a lot of people might ask, well, what's the 3rd position? You can only be a buyer or a seller. And the fact of the matter is that you can be sitting on your hands, you can be flat. You can be waiting for the market to generate more information until you have conviction one way or the other. So there's long, buyer, short, seller, being flat, not in the market. Right now we are flat. Yeah, one more time. KNOW. All right. Nasdaq's still looking heavy here. It hasn't yet pierced through the lows from yesterday. Let me pull up a quick chart. It's getting close though. It's right here. So I'm going to be watching that as a sign that we go lower. Nasdaq getting a little bit of responsive buying, it looks like. Just put in a new 15-minute candle. If we push lower, we've got to hold, kind of hold this area, in my opinion. All right, I'm considering a short. Oh, not yet. I was considering a short. We're going to see what the market's going to do here first. If it gets back in this range, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that move, so we'll just hang tight here. We won't have any FOMO, right? No fear of missing out. It's never any good. Don't want that. So on this trade, if I'm thinking about a short, I've got to ask myself where I'm wrong. So far, I think it would be right in here. I'm watching NASDAQ. It seems like it can't really get much strength. I'm considering a short here against the high of the day, but I'm not committed to it just yet. It's harder though to commit down here. You know, you'd rather commit in here and then feel you've got a little bit of cushion once it gets down here. So let's watch. They rejected it pretty hard off of this area, but we're still in our range, right? Still in this area. Opening range. Could have been the head fake there. And I'm biased to the short. I'm just looking at the NASDAQ. It just looks weak to me, and so that's kind of where I'm gleaning some insight from. So short, first target would be here. I'm not short yet. Considering though. I'm gonna get short here one piece, and then so I'm short right now, right at that 44. If we come up to here in 46, I'll consider another piece. On this one, I feel I'm wrong above 50. I'm wrong above there. All right, coming here to overnight low. So we're short at 44. Expect a little bit of resistance here. First target's going to be this 36 area. I'm not looking for a whopper of a movement on this. I'm considering taking a little bit off here at this area. Nasdaq's looking weak though, and we've only been in the trade for just about a minute. Okay, I'm going to take taking off a third right here. So we had a nice flush to the downside there. I'm going to take off another third right here. Okay, and now I've just got definitely moved my stop to about my entry point here. I might get in another third of the position somewhere up in here. My stop will be at break even though, or we're going to put it, let's see, we're going to put it right here, right at this area, or somewhere close to there. So decent sized move, or quick rather. It wasn't like a big move, but it was a quick move, at least relative to what the market's been doing lately. So we're just gonna draw this here, kind of looking at that. Every trend line, it doesn't always make sense, but sometimes just for nuance sake, you might put something in there and see what the market's gonna give you. I've got a similar kind of line on the NASDAQ as well. Next target here would be, so I've just got a third of my position in. I'm in a third of my position. I got out of 2/3 pretty quick. We had that big flush to the downside. Next target, I've got let me pull up a 5-minute. I hate to waste this trade. I don't want to get out of it too early. Here's a 5-minute. Or I should be looking at the 15 here. I feel like the next target could be mid-20s. Nasdaq's looking weak, but it's not going anywhere just yet. It's still lower to the downside. So we'll give it a little bit of time. See what it wants to do. 5 minutes looking good though. Like it's looking weak. Let me pull up an overnight and see if we had any congestion in this area. See if that's what's causing kind of a stall. No, there really wasn't much that happened at this level in the overnight. So let's call it 25. I'll look for a little bit more of a scale out at 25. We've got another 40 seconds to go until this. Now this is the 5-minute again, until this candle finishes. So I'd like to see some continuation here. I'd like to see it get heavy. The good news is we're below 36, so that's good. like that 25 level. Oh, getting closer here. So again, we've got to ask ourselves, what is the market trying to do, and is it doing a good job? It is FOMC day today, so we could see a bit of a run. Just looking at another chart here. Yeah, 25 to 26, that could be the level. I'm going to scale out of half of this other third that I've got right here. And so now I'm down to just 15% of my original position where we got short at 44. I'm going to take a quick look at NASDAQ. Here's NASDAQ on the 1 minute. We're putting in a little bit of volume here at 29. $29 and 30 area. Feels like it's going to take a little doing to get through on the 15-minute through this level here. This is my another target, that 25 area. Since I scaled out a little bit more here, if we get down to 25, I may just kind of let it go and see if we can push a little bit lower. Watching the 5-minute here, let's see, we've got a minute and a half until that 5-minute candle's done. Same thing, it would be great to see some continuation, but it looks like some buyers are stepping in here. NASDAQ is firming up a little bit as well. Next area of contention is going to be this 38 level here, and then certainly this. Now this is a trade that some traders will take. If we get back up to opening range, they look to short it and then continue on through. So at this point in my head, I'm wondering if I should take profit here and then put a small piece on back here if we get a retracement to this level. So that's a possibility as well. All right, just about 30 seconds left until we put in another 5-minute candle. Showing some either a pause or a little bit of strength. We had that quick flush down. Really not sure just yet where we're going to go. I'm still holding about 15-16% of my original position where we got short at 44. On this one, I've got my text message up here. On this one, I was reminding myself to know on this trade where I'm wrong if it goes against me. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit of continuation. I might at 25 here pull out of the rest of this thing. And I'm considering just a stop at 44.34 to get me out. I'll give it just a minute. Yeah, so I don't like that. Still got another 30 seconds with this candle. Tried to push lower, but it couldn't. So again, we'll ask ourselves, what is the market trying to do? Okay, I'm out. And is it doing a good job? Right here, we tried to get lower and just couldn't. It really wasn't doing a good job of that. Next area of contention is going to be this 38. Let me pull up a 5-minute here, or switch this to 5-minute. Show you what we're looking at. So we had this flush down. Who knows, could be a liquidation break. And then couldn't get to that 25 level. That was my final scale out target, or at least where I would have exited just about all the position there. Got close, pushed a little bit lower on this candle, and then we're kind of coming back. So NASDAQ is showing a little bit of strength too on the 15-minute as well. I don't think I'm going to re-enter here. That could change though. I may go in real small. It might be a third of my original position, somewhere up in here, and I'd be wrong. Up in, it's about halfway in the range. So that was a rather quick trade for me. Most trades, I feel like I'll hit my first target. Average is usually around like 7 to 8 minutes. And then I'll have runners and second and third targets that might take, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, sometimes even longer. This trade, it happened quite quick, which is, it's always nice. We didn't take any heat on that one really. Got short at 44. Pushed downhill here, scaled out at 36 in this area. So that one went rather quick, at least for me. Pretty short-lived trade right there. So at this level still, I'm looking at the daily, looking at support that we're trying to put in. Let's see if we get any continuation here. That'd be pretty interesting on the 5-minute if we do. Let's move over to 5. So again, here's the 5-minute. This really isn't, that doesn't really mean anything, but sometimes it helps you just draw stuff on the charts. We look at the NASDAQ. So this is definitely right here, I think, an area of contention for the NASDAQ. If it's weak, you'd want to see us hold below that level, that area. The trick with this trade for me though is that we've got all this here, right? Like this was when was this? This is Friday, and this is Monday. Doesn't mean we can't push through it. But in my opinion, we're weak under this level. But then you got to ask yourself, how far are we going to go? We've got this one here. And again, it is an FOMC day today. So at 1 p.m. Central, we've got the FOMC reporting and talking. So we could definitely get a lot of movement. Could get a lot of conviction. We saw a pretty quick move just this morning in the first trade that we took. But again, watching the market, it's all about kind of trying to glean insight when price comes to certain levels, what it's doing, how it's acting, how it's reacting. And for me personally, I don't have any big conviction just yet. So we're out of that first trade. I'm flat. This is a tricky area. I don't like it long here, and I don't like it short here just yet. So let's see. Looking at the daily, let me move over to the daily on the NASDAQ. Get that out of there. So here's the daily coming down to this wick. Got the 5 minute pulled up here. Usually it's just the 1 minute. Here's the 15. So it looks kind of similar on the E-mini as well, where we got below that critical level, coming down. A lot of support here, but that's another 15 points lower or so. So we could easily get down to that level. Let's watch this here. So I'm watching NASDAQ, watching the E-mini, waiting to see what we're going to do up around here. This is kind of the scene of the crime, this 44, 43 level where we sold off to begin with. 5 minutes looking like it could be a kind of a bear flag, right, where we come down, hang out for a while, meander a little bit higher, sellers come back in, then push it down. So again, we've got that 38 level as an area of contention. I would think, and let's see, 36 was important as well. That was our low from the other day, so it's no surprise that this level is important here. Battle is going to be that 38 spot, I would think. I'd guess anyone who's short would have their stop in. Who's still holding would have their stop right around this 37, 3/4 to 38. Gonna give it a little time. Wondering now if this is where we get continuation. Or they run the stops. We've got another 4.5 minutes to go for the 15-minute candle to complete. I'm keeping an eye on NASDAQ as well as the Emini. So here we've got that push down. Now we're kind of stuck above or stuck below this area. Looks pretty similar on the S&P 500 too, or the E-mini. All right, let's see if we can get some continuation. Got 3.5 minutes left on the 15-minute bar. Now, relative to a lot of days that we've had as of late, it's still pretty small range of movement for the day today. It's good to be mindful too of what's noise. You know, a lot of movement in the market's just noise. There's some levels and areas that are significant, and there's others that aren't. So it looks like the sellers are giving up now for the time being. FedEx getting hammered. Don't know if they had earnings or what. Okay, a minute and a half until our 15-minute bar is completed. NASDAQ looks quite similar to this chart here. A lot of confluence. And this one for me, I know I mentioned earlier that some traders will take this retest of the opening range. I don't know yet, one way or another, whether I'm going to take it. I don't think I am, but things can change. So again, this 38 has been an area where we're trying to get above. Bulls would need to get it above that, in my opinion. I'm not a scalper, but I just wonder scalpers if they're, entering here and then their stops just above 38. I'm sure they are. Right, we're 15 seconds away from that 15-minute bar candle closing out. This candle here. And I'll remove this. I've got it in my mind. 25 would be the area. So we got close to 25, didn't we? 26.5. Came down to that, and then that was it. Had a little 10-point bounce from there. And let's see if this is the continuation that the bears are looking for. That 38 was a good level. This looks weak, like it came down, paused, couldn't get above it. I was going to try lower. But again, we've got what could be support down here. Next target to the downside, that 25 area, and then I've got the mid-teens. So call it 14 or 15, probably right around here. So we ask ourselves, what is the market trying to do? And is it doing a good job? Is it doing a good job? Let me look at another indicator here. Just got the NASDAQ pulled up, looking for levels here that might be targets. Targets for both those who are short to get out, and then conversely, targets for those who want to get long to join the party or to start a new party. Let's see here. That's where we're at right there. Remove. Yeah, that area looks significant. That's the gap. Or close the gap. Let's see. All right, can the bears get it lower? It feels like they can. Feels like they can. We'll watch and see though. Can they hit that target of 25? Seems like it's going to happen. This is interesting. Interesting to a nerd like me. I know to a lot of others it's like watching paint dry. So I've got to ask myself now, where do the sellers capitulate? Where are they done? Where are they done? NASDAQ still just hanging out. Here's the 15-minute. Again, we're in this area of indecision where we're weak. So take all this away. Imagine this isn't here. We're certainly weak because we're under this level. So that's resistance up above us. But then you figure in this here, we spent all this time here, and we're strong. That's what's holding us up. We can't get through that, or we haven't been able to yet. We've got another 8 minutes to go on the 15-minute with NASDAQ. 5-minute kind of looks like it's getting a little stronger. Might see if the, well, I don't know. I don't want to say. Might see if the bulls can pull it off here. Yeah, that's a significant level right there. Yeah, we're gonna watch that. 30s. And it's Fed day, so we know, Fed days are notorious for the market just floundering, not having too much conviction one way or the other, hanging out. Notorious for that. Notorious B.I.G. All right. Missed it by, well, I wasn't looking to get anywhere, but I know I had 25 as a target, 44.25. Missed that one by 3/4 of a point, so just 3 ticks. Excuse me. This is a tricky area, again, because of what I've mentioned. It feels like it's going to be strong, but we're still kind of in an area of indecision. We've got resistance here and support here. So, in my mind, I feel like at this area where we're at right now, flip a coin, right? Could push lower, could push down into the 20s, maybe mid to high teens, find support there, then come back up. Or we could just as well get some buyers here and push us right back up into this area, then potentially here. So it's hard to say one way or the other. I don't feel that I have an edge at this spot, or a good risk to reward. What is the market trying to do, and is it doing a good job? Let's see. I feel like if I were to get short, if I liked it short, I'd be wrong above 40. But I'm not taking that one just yet. Could be that we come down here and I decide to get long. We've got 3 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. Both NASDAQ and ES look pretty similar. Here's the NASDAQ. I've got this as resistance. I know I'm like a broken record here, but just trying to talk through what I'm seeing. We've got to know where we are right and wrong in every trade. I feel like we may get another little bit of movement here once we put in another 15-minute candle. We're 2 minutes away. 2 minutes away. Doesn't have to be that way, but it can be. There's all kinds of different nuances with the market. All right, just 1 minute left until our 15-minute candle here completes. Ten seconds to go. The 15-minute candle. And it's completed. This is important, this 36. Highlight that guy. I may do something around this area. If we come up a little bit, can't hold it, then get back down in it, I'll probably consider a short. That's the battle area. Keep in mind, right? That's the low from the other day. Spike lower, liquidation break. Buyer step in, run it right back up. What was support is now acting as resistance. Depending on the 15-minute looks, I might consider another short. So I would look for it to get somewhere up in here. And then if it comes back in quickly, I would take that short. So the question now is, with the day is this, and this is the question that nobody knows just yet. At least I certainly don't. Is this a rotational day where we start here, come here, kind of work our way up in here, come back, come up to here, then come back. So just, spending time in this range, or is a day where we come down, we've got this push lower, and then we continue to, cascade and move to the downside. That's really the $1 million question. Five-minute, just kind of hanging out, doing its thing. No real conviction, one way or the other. 5-minute bar chart. $15-minute, the same. You can see it here. So this has been our wall so far. Yeah, so we'll watch it between here and here. See if it comes back up. If sellers hit it again, I'd like to see them get it below this 36. Then I'd consider entering another short. Alright, let's see what we do here. Watching NASDAQ, it looks similar to this here. Again, I'm not committed to a trade just yet. I've got an idea of what I might do. NASDAQ. All right, here's that 40 area. So we spent a lot of time hitting 36.5 here. A lot of time. Come up above it. We got to see if it holds. See if the bulls can keep it above it. This area is significant, the 40. Kind of slow so far. Not a lot of quick movements with the move above that yellow line at 36.5. NASDAQ still significantly below its overnight low. Yeah, this level isn't an easy one to trade in my opinion, just because of what I mentioned with resistance here, support down here. Let's see, I've been looking at the 15-minute of the NASDAQ, but let's take another look. So here we go. Yeah, in my mind, NASDAQ, if it's going to fail, it tries to get up to this area where I've got this gray line. Can't really get above here, and then a little bit of a continuation of the downside. So where I got that area, yeah, right here. I feel like we could go up and then come back down again. But where a target would be, well, if we're up here, first target would be somewhere in here in the middle. Let's watch the E-mini now. It's starting to pull in a little bit. Okay. All right, so here's that 15-minute chart. Poked above it. Now we're back down. I don't have much conviction one way or the other here. Okay, let's see what we do here. it's only 9:40, but it might be that I'm done, and at least until 1 o'clock. I might try to get a little time away from the screen, come back fresh. Sorry that I don't have any commentary. I just don't have much to say here. So this is what I thought was a possibility, would be that we get above 36, come up above it, get close to 40, fail, push through. But I don't have any real big conviction here, and neither does the market. It doesn't look like as of yet. 5 minutes kind of sloppy. I know you like them extra sloppy, in the words of Lunch Lady or Adam Sandler. So yeah, here's our 5 minute push, hang out, come up here, and now the question is, we got another 2 minutes, minute and a half till this 15-minute bar is done. So not much has changed. Had that move lower, but not a big fan. So far it feels rotational, at least with this push down and then coming up higher. So now to me it feels more rotational, like come down, come up, touch here, maybe hang out, get back in here, maybe push above it. That can all change in the blink of an eye, literally. But that's just how it feels. Our NASDAQ's hitting that gray line that I drew in earlier. So it got up to it. Let's watch NASDAQ here. Let's take a quick gander. So here's the line on NASDAQ. Think on this, maybe we get up to this 66 level. And then ideally, I'd like to see a wick up here and it close below, call it 14,451 or 52. Okay, a little retest of 40 there and a rejection. Still holding above 36. 5 minutes, still ugly, in my opinion. Not a lot of conviction one way or the other. 9:45. We're an hour and 15 in. Oh, I feel like the scalpers have all the fun. Those guys have all the fun. Scalper's paradise so far. I feel like personally the shorter time frame I go, the less objective I become. So the longer time frame stuff, I feel like I'm more objective. Shorter time frame though, boy, being in and out, just scalping in a matter of seconds or a minute or two, I can get all twisted up, tangled up in the weeds, and not see the bigger picture. Okay, so NASDAQ came up to that gray line. It's kind of holding below it now. Let's see where we're at here. 51, 26. So we had about 25 points of movement, just over. 27 maybe, from about, looks like 52 down to 26. Roughly 25 points. I feel like I could try a short here against this level. I'm short just under 36, small piece. I'm wrong above this 39, we'll call it. Don't really love the trade, not that excited about it, but I'm in real small. I'm close to getting stopped out on that one. All right, took me out. I figured I saw us come up, come down again, up, fail, and then hang out here. Thought we might be able to kind of stay under the yellow and then come back down, come back in. Might have been a little premature on that trade. Seems like 40 would have been the better area for a stop loss. But that was little. I mentioned the size was quite small. It was a third of what I went into over here, and my stop was pretty tight on it. Didn't give it much wiggle room. Might regret that, but it's not a big deal. This line doesn't mean much, but every now and then I'll put a line in just to have some kind of a visual reference point. NASDAQ still strong, holding above that gray line that I put up. It's got another 6 minutes until the 15-minute bar closes. Tempted to short this thing again. Yeah, that's kind of more what I'm looking for right there. I might get short here and put it in against the high that we recently put in up above this level. Okay, I'm in real small again. The stop's going to be, I don't have a hard stop in, but it's going to be somewhere right around this area. Close to it at least. And I'm in small. I'm in a third of the size that I was in here, keeping my stop tight. Same thing, I don't just love this trade. Maybe I should be sitting on my hands with this one. But figure it's a decent risk to reward. Yeah, so NASDAQ's showing strength here again, which I don't like. We've got 5 minutes on the 15-minute. Got another 15 seconds on the 1 minute candle. First target on this, so I'm wrong above this area here. First target, we'll call it this 33 level. That'll be where I get out of half of the position. Oops. Oh, my computer's a little bit frozen up here. Don't know what's happening. Get a little freeze issue going on with the old computer. I'm going to get out a half right here. Let's see here. I'm out a half, and then we'll put the other half. We'll let it go, see what it's going to do. Okay, so hit that 33. Nasdaq's looking decent on the 15. Question is, where do we want to get out of this one at? I'll watch it around 30. I do like this price action though on the 15 minute. We're putting a wick in that's lower than here. So on this, I'm just gonna, for right now, keep my stop loss on the other half of the position somewhere up in here. If it gets a little bit lower, I might move it to 38. All right, we just put in a new 15-minute candle on the Nasdaq. I'll put my stop here at this high on the other half of this piece. So here's what we were looking for on the Nasdaq that I mentioned. We had to come up to that gray level, or this gray line came up to here, put in a wick, and now we're trying to get lower. Definitely have some stuff we got to work through down here. Again, Nasdaq looks kind of similar to the Emini in that the 5 minutes just kind of ugly, hanging out. Still looks rotational. So on this one, where's the 1 minute right here? So we got above here hanging out. Be good if we can stay below this line right here. Stop on the remaining pieces right here. And this is a trade where if it does get me stopped out, it'll just be it'll be a scratch. We took some profit here at 33, got in right around here, and if it moves against me, it'll be a scratch. But risk to reward on this one, I like it. I feel like this is a trade you got to give some time, give a little room to work out. If we can get down into here, I like the odds of it pushing a bit further, coming back to some of this area here, and then potentially getting lower. I don't know how likely that is, though. Especially with it coming back up to this 36 area, which is our entry point right here. So here's where we initiated the trade. Looks like it's going to run us out. Although we are holding above, below this area. So I think this is an important candle, or next few candles. So we've kind of flirted with the 36. We've been below it more than we've been above it. 15-minute, not super telling, but was sizing up okay. So let's see now if we can get some continuation downside. Now this is where, if I were a scalper, I feel like I could, enter a trade here and be wrong, maybe right at 38. Looking for good risk to reward, and then a push down into 32s. But I'm not, so woulda, shoulda, coulda. NASDAQ showing some strength. Come on. Something's frozen here. Something's frozen up. There we go. A little bit of movement. Okay. Let's look at the 5 minute here. Boy, 5 minutes still really not giving us much. Could go one way or the other. Next area to get below is this 33 level. There we go. There's a little bit of movement. 15-minute on the NASDAQ, still not below the prior 15-minute. Here's that battle area, that 33. Let's pause in there for a minute. Let's look the 15-minute here. Holding it. We really need to get below this wick here, and then 30. So far we can't do it. FOMC minutes later today. This can be typical of an FOMC day. Okay, NASDAQ looking strong. We're close. Almost got me stopped out. Not yet, but okay. And I'm out of that one for just a scratch, just to break even. Which I'm fine with. My size was small. It was a third of what I entered here on the trade that I have more conviction about. We tried getting short here. Failed and took us out. Tried it again. Tried here. Took off half of it here. Then just had the other half stop loss right at this area. On that trade, I was okay with taking a scratch because I thought, well, if we do get a push to the downside on this 15-minute, there is a chance that we come up to here and then get back down into maybe test this area again and maybe even into the low 20s or teens. So I was okay with that. As far as right here, though, I'm not really interested one way or the other. So I'm going to take a break, call it a morning, and then I plan on being back around 1 o'clock for the FOMC as we could get some movement then.